I really felt isolated when I first moved in because I didn't know anybody in the area, and it got to the stage I didn't want to leave the house. And then one day I get ready to go out, and I was just about to lock the door, and I thought, no, it's about time you started to turn your own life round instead of turning your door, and went back in and decided it was time to get in contact with somebody. I hadn't left the house for 2.5 weeks. I think it was just because it was a strange house, strange area. So I went back into the house, I spoke it over with my husband, and I decided to phone the doctor to get an appointment to see if he could help me with my drink, and he did refer me to another counsellor who referred me to Drinkwise Age Well. Really felt isolated, and it was time for me to turn my whole life around and get back to what I used to be, not what I was. And I've never looked back now. I'm looking forward. I've kept to what I said I would do, and I'm doing it.
My picture is a wooden frame, and it's a family picture of my 3 sons. And it smells of wood, and wood's a living thing, so we love it. And it was a picture that my sons look really happy in, and I'm really pleased about that because we've been through a lot. And it was my 60th birthday, and it was a surprise, and it was fantastic. And it's really good to see my sons looking so happy. And it's got a lot of happy memories, and it makes me think of them. And I got a lot of gifts that day, and it was a surprise, so it was great. And it's sitting in my sitting room, so I can speak to them and I can see them, and they are part of my life, and I couldn't live my life without them. They're amazing young men, and they've done really well, and we've had lots of fun, and I just want to see them grow up and be a grand, and I'm really happy. It's a great picture. The kick for me to make me realise that I had an alcohol problem was, and being a nurse, was that I had an alcoholic seizure, which I thought was, it was giving me a stroke. I thought I was having a stroke, and it was really, really scary. And so I phoned up the paramedics, had a chat with them, but I kind of knew what to do, to take an aspirin, deep breathe, and see the doctor, an emergency appointment the next day. And I went to the doctors, and then I went for a brain scan, which was quite scary because it showed that my brain was smaller than it should be, and that I had fetal alcohol syndrome as well as all the other problems. And so that I went to see my sons, Richard, Sean and Callum. I went to see them growing up, and so that was a big push for me. And sometimes I worry that there might be triggers in life that might push me back, so maintenance is a big thing for me. And also I worry about going out to social events with my family and friends, because there's a lot of pressure from them, as they're all alcoholics or drinkers or heavy drinkers, and so I try to avoid that when there's too many people. I don't cope with pressure well.
When I woke up in the back of an ambulance after suffering a seizure, and when I opened the ambulance door, the first thing I saw was my granddaughter sitting, crying, shouting my name. She was confused and didn't know what had happened. Obviously I never knew what had happened, but when I realised it was down to alcohol and it was explained to me, that was the kick that I needed. That was the kick that made me change my life. I realised I had to stop drinking when it became a big part of my life, and I wanted to spend more time with my granddaughter and watch her growing up. And I'd had a fright with alcohol. This picture is of me and my granddaughter a year later on the pier at Blackpool. We were there putting a padlock onto the railings, and it was inscribed, Grandad and Lucy Ann, Gala Team Forever. It's a symbol of our closeness, our love, and the part that she played in my recovery, and realising that alcohol wasn't the be-all and end-all of everything.
This is a picture of a park which is on a route I take to and from home every day, just going shopping, going appointments. It's a park which is frequented by dog walkers, school kids. It's quieter at night, it's busier during the day, but I take it to and from home. One evening I was in the pub till shutting time, 11 o'clock. I thought I was okay when I left. 3 hours later I woke up in the stream through this wee park that I walk through all the time. I can't remember walking from the pub to the park. I can remember waking up in the stream, not knowing how long I had actually been in it. Got out it and stood up, but can't remember getting from there to my home. It wasn't until next morning I woke up, clothes filthy, pains in my back and legs, and then a flashback to remembering waking up in this stream.
This is a picture of the People's Palace, and when I saw it, it summed up Glasgow for me. Culture, industry, high-rise living, and most importantly, green space. I came to Glasgow without wanting to come to Glasgow, never having lived in a city before, always living in the countryside or by the sea. So I was kind of forced into this environment, hated it when I first came here. Didn't like going out into the throngs of the city because it just scared me, and I cried when I drove around and I didn't know where I was going. And then I actually got involved with Drinkwise and had to go out and visit people and go to places all over the city, and it just opened my eyes out, I suppose, to actually it's not a bad place. It's quite good to be here, and there's lots going on, and now I absolutely love it. But it was just a sort of realisation that I had to do it, basically. And it allowed me to be able to look after my husband in the way that he needed looking after. And you think, who will I be without it?
Well, where do you start?
And who do you think I should contact now to get help with my problem?
And you think, do I really want to stop drinking? And then you realise, I have to.
And you think, how will I maintain being sober?
And you think, am I capable of change? We're all capable of change.
There comes a time when enough's enough, otherwise known as the kick.